Tokai Towers, everybody. I'm Anthony the Artist, and today we're going to take a look back at the Overlord Arcade's Father's Day Royal Rumble from last year, the 2023 run. One of the many projects Ben and I cooked up last year as a way to have fun with our commenter thing and everything about that. So sit back, relax as I go over the Rumble itself, presenting some fun facts and all sorts of stats along the way. Now, if you've yet to check out Daddy Brawl 2023, or you need a little bit of a refresher to see how it all went down, on the screen up there where I have everything all blotted out is going to be a link to the video where it all took place. So, check it out. I'll just ramble on talk about the day. Guess what's this week's Common Rider? Fun. Very fun. Yep. Please tell me you're watching it. I don't want to look like the silly goose here if you're not watching it. I'm needy. You need to watch the stuff. Alright, now that you've checked that out, and you checked it out, right? I mean, you gotta have seen all those match maneuvers and everything that went on. Well, if you didn't, but yeah, if you did, you're cool. Well, let's get that underway with a few fun facts before we meet our competitors. The match itself was roughly about 37 minutes and 30 seconds of Papa combat with Ben knowing the result because of the super hard work he put into it. You gotta give Ben credit for that. This took a lot of work. Like, a lot of time. Well, I can't say for 100% sure if we'll do another one this year as of me recording this, being that, like, I got into this really late and Father's Day is pretty close. I hope this helps Ben and I decide who deserves to be in the second Rumble if we do end up doing it once again. So without further ado, let's meet the dads who duked it out from the first eliminated to the dad that got the win. All this is the number they entered, a fun fact from the match, how long they lasted after they got into the ring, and if, as well as how many eliminations they scored, and who their creator was. I mean, who invited them, we didn't create these dads. The first dad we had eliminated was unfortunately the first dad to get to the ring. The Uncharted protagonist, Nathan Drake himself. He's a flighty dude that can go toe-to-toe with the best, but unfortunately he wasn't the dadliest like the rest. Clocking in at a total of 2 minutes and 51 seconds, while he was the first one out, he lasted longer than at least 6 other dads in total. Ben picked this man among thieves to sign up for this match, so good on you, Ben. The second man to go flying over the top rope was our martial arts man, Martial Law himself. Unfortunately, he was the third man in, so he didn't get too much of a time period, lasting at 2 minutes and 28 seconds. Not an impressive time. Crazy enough, though, he was knocked out like 2 seconds after the sixth dad came to the ring. Like, as soon as that dad walked in, Marshall's all, "Oop, I'm down." I kind of feel bad that I called him on his lunch break, so I think he might have taken a dive. On second thought, did he bet on himself to get knocked out second? Marshall! The third man out was the second man to start this thing off. And while Joseph Joestar is definitely known for running away, he unfortunately was caught and thrown out at number 3. But crazy enough, he outlasted 19 other fathers in the long run. So with a time like that, I'm pretty glad I hired Joseph to do this one. Although I'm not going to hire him to fly. His track record with that is zilch. The fourth dad to get knocked out was the former Angry Man of War turned Mad Dad of War, Kratos. He got in at number 5 with a time of 4 minutes and 39 seconds. Kratos, you also were the first dad to knock one out. Being that your Spartan pride and everything, it shows that even in cutscenes, Kratos is still a great fighter. I'm sorry, Nate, I love you, but Kratos is truly the better protagonist of the PlayStation. Ben, why are you guys knocking each other out? The fifth man out, looking at the lights, was actually the sixth man to join the fight. He was none other than Walter White, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't find that alright. Other than being one of the 8 dads wearing like a hat or some sort while they were fighting, Walter was in for an impressive 5 minutes and 38 seconds. Now, the reason why Ben felt the need to bring this one in, and it helped actually bring out more dads in the long run, was he felt we needed some bad dads to go and boo against our good dads to cheer with. So, with every face, we need a great heel, and who other than Walter? Although in the long run, wasn't he the face in the end? Fun facts in between some eliminations. Amongst our 13 fighters who had headgear of some sort, only 8 of them kept that headgear on. Now, people like Walter, he needs that hat on, because like, it's his aesthetic, it's his look. And amongst some other dads you'll see in just a bit, you're gonna kind of wish some of them kept their hats on, and others, you know, it kind of works with them taking it off in battle. Go figure. But, in the meantime, in between time, next dad. The 6th man to leave the stage was none other than Shrek. He came in at number 8, and within that time of 4 minutes and 14 seconds, he did what many pantheons of the Greek and Norse now mythologies tried to do. He beat Kratos. He was also the only Papa who was born green amongst our green dads who joined the brawl. Now, unfortunately, Ben beat me to signing him. I mean, I can understand why, because like I spent like about an hour talking to an onion, because onions and ogres are alike, they got layers. 7th old man out was none other than a great judge who's probably judging me on how I'm doing this. Philip Banks, you got in at number 9 and lasting at 6 minutes and 19 seconds. You are not only one of the guys to last in the top 10 times, but, and let's put an emphasis on this one, you are the first one to sentence 2 dads to elimination over the top rope. You did it really fast too, with 29 seconds between each elimination. You were picked by me, and I am glad I made that choice. You are not only the greatest uncle amongst uncles, but you are a good dad amongst dads. If your elimination number being 8 is the only odd number for you, Shao Kahn, while entering at number 10, you had no eliminations to your name, which is really surprising. But crazy enough, you had the 10th best time in the ring with 5 minutes and 57 seconds. Now, I have no clue why Ben decided to risk Earthrealm for this one, but hey, we got more bad dads to compete with our good dads, and, well, again, he was out at 8, so we're safe. We're safe, and we don't have to do Mortal Kombat. The 9th departure from the ring was our arrival number 11, Sir Topham Hatt the First. Lasting only a total of 4 minutes and 34 seconds, he said he needed to ride the tank, and he had fun with it, and he put people in seats, so I'm going to take that and run with it. Knocking out Uncle Phil was not cool, though. You scored a point, but you knocked out one of my guys, so I'm not a big fan of it. But Ben, being the fan of Thomas the Tank Engine, decided to mail that letter to Sodor personally. I'm still surprised that he is the dad of tanks. Go figure, you learn something new every day. The 10th man ejected from the top ropes was usually a man who travels underneath the ropes. The Limbo Man, Hermes Conrad himself. At number 4 starting, Mr. Conrad was the first contestant to pass the 10-minute mark at 11 minutes and 38 seconds, while saving Earthrealm with one of his 2 eliminations. Now, I decided to mail this letter and send it to the year 3000 in hopes that, like, I don't kind of mess up the timeline in not sending this letter. So, here's to hoping I didn't mess up the timeline. After those 5 guys have left the ring, it's time for some more fun facts for you and me. Now, let's start this one out by showing the splitting of invites between Ben and myself. We sent out a lot of invites between each other, and amongst this, I only got 14 confirmations because they actually just walked up to the door as they came in to the Rumble the day of. Some of them are punctual, some of them just don't want to, like, work with me. Ben, on the other hand, he had a lot of people say yes because, well, Ben's got that charismatic way to go about it, so he had to pick through a lot of people, so he took one of the extra spots because, well, again, I was short of Dad. Looking at you, Dad, who didn't go in. The 11th dad to head back to the catering table was Big Boss, who came in at the very unlucky number of 14. It is known for being a cursed number amongst the Royal Rumbles, and I really hope nothing bad happens to him. But you have to give it to him for lasting about 3 minutes and 22 seconds. He spent more time in the ring than about a third of the competition. Now, Ben recruited this guy to the match, and he made a good choice with this, especially because of how big a fan he is of the Metal Gear series. 12th Angry Daddy to go and get milk was none other than the Italian stallion himself, Rocky Balboa. Entering at number 13 with a time of 4 minutes and 34 seconds, he kind of did about the middle of the run for the pack in general, so good on ya. But being that it was 4 minutes and 34 seconds, it's about a little bit over your average boxing round, so I probably should have kept that in mind when I asked him to join. But hey, you gotta give it to him. He's got some fighting to do, and he can't be wasting his time and energy on this Royal Rumble. Alright, Mr. 13, it is time to go home and be a family man. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Guile, and I'm using your line. Go home, be a family man. At 1 minute and 23 seconds, it's not a really great time, but you're able to eliminate Hermes, and your elimination makes you more successful than well over half of the competition. So, being that you entered in at halfway, it's fine. You got that elimination? I'm proud to have called you into battle. Time of elimination is 6 minutes and 1 second. Dale Gribble, you have been exterminated from the ring at number 14, and your entrance to the ring was number 16. Your elimination of Rocky puts you in some pretty well bits, and people liked your emulation of the styling and profiling one, so it's no wonder you were one of the first people invited here. And hard to believe Ben was able to get you to come here by pretending he was Rusty Shackelford. With this Rumble, you thought the last retire of the first half would be an average dad bod, but little did you know it would be Dio all along. The 19th competitor, the second oldest evil dad, and third oldest dad in general, at 3 minutes and 52 seconds. With no stand, a win was not in the chips for you. I am so glad Ben was able to get you to sign that no stand allowed contract, or we would have had a harder time calling this thing. And I think you might have cheated to win. We got some fun facts today. We got some fun facts to say. We have some fun facts today. And here are some fun facts to say. 16 of the 30 competitors did not get a KO. Shocking! And that was some fun facts right now. Alright, kicking off the second half of the Rumble Takeouts, we have the Burger Man himself, Bob Belcher of Bob's Burgers. With a 2 minute and 7 second time, Bob is in 5th place for the bottom 10 in the time spent in the ring. Now, entering 22, you'd think that he bribed Ben and I with burgers for that spot, but no, he did not bribe us at that spot all on his own with his luck and merit and good old burger prowess. Although I kind of wish he did bring some burgers for us to munch on. This is why I invited you, Bob! I would have paid for it! With a heavy heart, I am sad to say that the champ was the 17th knockout in this honored Rumble of Royals. Mr. Hercule Sainton did his best and was number 1 in the hearts of all of us with his top time of 24 minutes and 21 seconds. The champ takes away the marathon title of this Rumble with the ejections of Joseph Joestar, Sir Topham Hatt I, and Guile. We all know the best of the first half. We all know that Ben, you picked the winner of all of our hearts. So join with me, everybody. Join with me and say it loudly and say it proudly. Hail Satan! 18th in and 18th out, Robert Underduck to Williger II. PhD, or Slideshow Bob as very many know him, drew the number that would mark his beginning and end, clocking in at 9 minutes and 43 seconds, while he would have lucky number 7 in the time spent in the ring. Unfortunately, you need more than luck to win this challenge. You need skill, heart, and grit. And it still surprises me that I invited both of the Bobs to this event. Alright, ladies, it's time to go to your used shoe store because the shoe man is in and he's going to sell you some good shoes. I'm telling you this because 19th cut from the Rumble was none other than the shoe man himself, Al Bundy, who entered in at number 12 with a time of 17 minutes and 28 seconds. Al takes the top 3rd time overall, and with 3 eliminations to his name, Al's number of 33 makes a surprisingly out-of-world appearance by combining his top-tier time with his knockouts. Ben, you drafted one hell of a player to this Rumble. Really? Really? One of Earth's defenders. One of Earth's defenders surrendered at number 20. Because of this, I doubt Ninja Bond 2 will even be made, man. I doubt it will be made. Come on, Cage, you popped in at 23. The fact that you barely beat being in the bottom 10 for times at 3 minutes and 40 seconds, and we're only one away from being in the bottom 10 is bad for publicity. You don't want another striker I was doing my job situation? I mean, come on! Jeez, you really let Ben down here, man. I got facts. Da-na-na-na-na. They're kind of fun. I got fun facts. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Let's say facts. The average time was about 6 minutes and 30 seconds. Time conversion is a little hard, so I had to round up to the nearest half a minute. This will come back in the future, so remember these fun facts. I said fun facts! Alright, we are down to the last 10 dads, and we're going to kick it off with the 21st dad kicked to the curb. He was none other than RoboCap. Now, due to the OCP rental being for 2022 and expiring that year, it is a very good thing that he entered in at 25 and got sent back within about a minute and 26 seconds into his run. He lasted about 3 more seconds in Guile, and crazy enough, he was knocked out right at the 30-minute mark on the dot. Again, I, with having the wrong contract and taking Ben's feverish advice, am glad that he spent very little time in the ring. On the long run, when I think about it, it means I wasted an invite, and it makes it so much worse. Damn. We've entered into the single-digit territory with the 22nd expired client being Dr. Perry Cox, our man not caring. Now, entering at the 26th spot, you'd think he'd do really good, right? Well, wrong, 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 wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong. You're wrong, Anthony. Oh, you're wrong. At 25 seconds, he tied for the worst time. Damn it, Perry! Why did you do this? I needed a my cake doctor, not a my lunch doctor. Wait. So you're saying the 23rd elimination landed on Dr. Cox? Just plopped right on him. Man, that is dirty pool. I love it. Gomez Adams entering in at number 24, lasting about 3 minutes and 45 seconds. That's 5 seconds more than the guy who entered before him. Maybe if he stayed in the black and white sepia tone we had him enter in, he might have won it. Ben, your boy did what he did and he had fun. You know, crazy enough, I hear that him and some of the other dads have sword fights every Sunday now and again. Wait a minute, aren't Ben and I invited to that? Okay, it is really crazy that some of these numbers work out how they do, seeing as how this guy did his thing on Christmas Eve, and being knocked out at number 24, John McClane fought long at 12 minutes and 15 seconds, entering in at the legal number of 21. John did great taking out Al, eliminating Dr. Cox, and then committing John Cuckoo by taking out Cage. And crazy enough, like I did with the two Bobs, Ben somehow brought in both of the Johns to play. You know, I heard that the 25th guy written off for the Rumble is a bit of a failure and a bad dad too. Yes, I am talking about you, Norman Osborn. You had a really great spot at number 20-freaking-9 and treated it worse than your son by wasting it. 25 seconds and you were powerbombed out. We spent so much time on your costume and it was wasted. Why did two of my choices do this bad? I got some fun facts. I got them for you. Ooh, fun facts. Did you guys know that 7 of our fighters decided to fight with no shirt on? They did it for the ladies. And oddly enough, one of them decided to go down to their underwear. For the ladies. Fun facts! Alright, I've cooled down and we can talk about the 5th from the top out. At 26, a man with great integrity and someone who's not afraid to fight in his undies. Number 20 is Randy Marsh. With 14 minutes and 59 seconds by his name, Randy made use of that time, becoming the Knockout King, getting 5 beatdowns. 5. Knocking out Norman so quick. Saving me money by serving Robocop his papers. Protecting the Joestar line by stopping Dio. And getting the quickest consecutive knockout of 22 seconds between knocking out Mr. Satan and Sideshow Bob. He's definitely a pick for me and you, and he's a pick by me, and he's for you. Randy Marsh. You got integrity. At 26 among the 30 men knocked out, this great man beat to the groove that came from the hills where the llamas sing. The man who entered in at number 28, I'm talking about Pacha. Well, he didn't last all that long. He was in the ring longer than both the first and the last man to enter the ring, with a time of 3 minutes and 14 seconds. While I was hoping he'd do so well, in a sense, I know for a fact, and you can believe it, he certainly did. Now take him home. Reversing the time he entered at 27, with the time he exited at 28. Raising himself from the grave, we got Stubbs the Zombie popping in to cause some havoc and maybe make an army of friends, if we didn't rig the arena to prevent that from happening. While being only in there for about 4 minutes and 50 seconds, good old Stubbs was able to take out both Randy and John. And he really kept up with the best on that one. Crazy enough, Ben was the one to inform me that he's a dad. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. You wouldn't think he'd be a dad. But he is. The last man to go over the top was a man loved by all and hated by a large bald dad. FLANRDS, his name is Ned, he's a real great dad, he's entering the Rumble at 17. Ned was number 2 in both the Rumble as a whole and the time spent in the Rumble at 21 minutes and 2 seconds, as well as scoring 2 knockouts against the undead that is Stubbs the Zombie and the altogether Uki that is Gomez Adams. Man, I really wanted him to win when it came down to the last 2, even though Ben was behind this man of faith. Well, you guys watched it, you already know the winner, and you know how I feel about this. And the winner who got the cheap seat of number 30, the man who, well, was named number 20 and Barf became number 1 and stole the show, Dr. Giro. Knocking out 2 of the best dads in this Rumble, Pacha and Ned got some real heat with me. Especially with his time of 3 minutes and 8 seconds. You cheat! I hate this! You loser! You absentee father! You don't deserve this! Why? Why did I invite him? Alright, fun facts for everyone, and I'm just gonna give you 2 of them that, like, for this one bonus, so Anthony has some time to calm down. The first one that I have is about Dale Gribble. Dale Gribble is actually the first person that Ben invited to the Rumble. Because, well, he wanted to see Dale kick some ass. Because he knew Dale had it in him. And with the second one being about Randy Marsh, my boy, he is the only fighter to actually have a finisher name. While technically it is a stunner of sorts, him using it as many times as he has, it has been dubbed the Marshmaker by him. And now that fun facts are over, I take it back to the Anthony who calms down. Are you calm? Alright everybody, since I don't really want to end on too sour of a note right there after that meltdown, here's some top 10s. We have the least time in, right there. You see it? Everything in. Norman, he did nothing, so that's why he is in last. And here are the top times here. So that way you can get them there. Next, we have our KO Kings. And for the hell of it, I've decided to make the Home for Infinite Losers bottom bracket. Unfortunately, Gomez takes the number 10 spot. Johnny, you let me down. You let Ben down, number 9. Big Boss was 8. Pacha, while I love him, was number 7. Nathan Drake, first one in, 6th one from the bottom. Martial Law. Oh, Martial Law. Bob, why? RoboCop and Dr. Perry Cox. And rounding out the bottom was Norman. Well, you know that would be the case. Looking back at this, majority of these guys are my fighters. That's unfortunate. But that's not all. Because now we're going to get to that last section that I was talking about. It's time to show you our MVP of the Royal Rumble, and how we're going to do this is by a point system. The first way to earn points is from eliminations, and that's going to be the major factor of points if there is a tie in the long run. The second way is from the time spent to the ring. I'm going to be dividing their time from the time that was averaged out. So remember that 6 minutes 30 seconds is going to be taken down from that time, and each time the fighter's time overlapped it is going to count as a point. Alright, and for the honorary spot with his lucky win goes to Dr. Giroux. Now for the real top dogs. Rounding off the top 5 is John McClane with 4 points. 3 for taking out the competition and 1 for the timestamp. You did good, John. You didn't die hard. Everybody give a round of applause to John McClane. At number 4, we have the polite left-handers, Ned Flanders, scoring in at 5 points with a total of 2 eliminations and a ring time with 3. With Al earning the 3rd seat, he now has full claim on the number 3, getting 5 points in total with 3 KOs and 2 from his in-ring play. That's the reason why he did get a spot above Flanders in the end. Winning our hearts and catching the 2nd spot is the Rumble Marathon man, Mr. Satan, who is in 2nd place with his 6 points, getting 3 points in each category. We'll do that for you. Good on you, Mr. Satan. And one more time for everybody. Hail Satan! Hail Satan! And the MVP of the Overlord Arcade 2023 Royal Rumble with an unbeatable 7 points. 2 from the time in the ring and 5 for the dad sent over the top rope. He is the Colorado Little League Baseball Fight Instigator, Randy Marsh. You've got integrity, you've got the MVP, and you are someone I want to see in the next Rumble. And now with Pomp and Circumstance all out of the way, if you watched last year, please tell us who you would like to see return. Or maybe if you want to see a new dad enter, tell us who you would like to see run the gauntlet. Or maybe you can do both. Who knows? We need more dads. We need choices. If we decide to do it again, that is, this year, maybe your dad will make an appearance. But in the meantime and in between time, it's been fun. It's been grand. And if not at the Rumble or at the Overlord Arcade, we'll see you at the next tower.